Samkele Maseko, SABC reporter, standing by over there. Samkele, the MK party with double the amount of votes of the ANC and the IFP trailing behind the ANC over there. It's anyone's guess how that province shapes up a government together next week. What is the mood like in the province?
Well, Oliver, at this point in time, it is very tense here at the Results Center at the International Convention Center here in Durban, as the MK party has wreaked havoc to the Economic Freedom Fighters, to the African National Congress, and to the Inkatha Freedom Party as well. As you can see, political parties are seeing the numbers trickling in. The IFP here is still waiting for those numbers from the Zululand district. I wonder how they will fare. Let me just ask this particular gentleman from the IFP. So the numbers have not yet come in from Zululand. Seems as if the MK is leading the pack.
Yeah, well, you can see on the board, for now he is leading, but we are still waiting for more results to come. And as IFP, we will make it.
You are saying that you will basically be the majority party within the province of KwaZulu-Natal?
Definitely, because right now we are waiting for more results to come in.
Thank you very much. But what we have seen in KwaXimba, the biggest ward in eThekwini, the MK has wreaked havoc against the ANC in that particular ward. You go to that entire zone in Hammersdale areas, that in those entire wards have all gone to the MK party. You go to Ward 94 in Durban, it's all gone as well. And you actually reference various municipalities in the Herikwala district, Mpendle. You also go in, that is Mkunlu, Mpendle, gone to the MK. You go to Umshwati as well, gone to the MK. You go to Mkambatini, gone to the MK. But one wonders how the Democratic Alliance is doing in their strongholds. Numbers are a bit stagnant. We'll bring in Mr. Francois Rogers. Mr. Francois Rogers, how are you doing as the DA?
I'm good, Sam. Thank you very much. We're good. We're here waiting for results. A bit slow. It's a bit like watching paint dry. But we're here and we're ready to stay the distance.
Looking at the numbers coming in for the MK, are you shocked that they are wreaking havoc in ANC strongholds?
No, not shocked. We predicted this. We said MK would surpass the ANC support. So it's certainly what we predicted. It's now to see, look, we're only sitting on 12% of the results. It'll be interesting to see as more results start coming in, to see whether in fact the MK can sustain that or whether it's going to drop off. We always believed that the MK would be in at around about the 35% to 36% mark.
Looking at your turnout, how are you thinking of faring? Some of your strongholds have not yet come in. How are you thinking you are going to do? Particularly, you asked me a question, how did the Muslim community vote? Let me ask you, how did that particular community vote?
Well, interesting you should ask that question, Sam. So yesterday, for the very first time in areas like Phoenix and Chatsworth, that predominantly the communities are apathetic towards voting. There was enormous turnout, and over 70% in some of the VDs of voters turned out to vote. And I think that's once again indicative of what we've done during the campaign and the support. But I must say all over, and we commend all those voters that got out, stood in long queues with technical glitches. The IEC weren't at their best yesterday, but we thank those voters.
Essentially looking at how communities have voted, particularly in urban areas, as the Democratic Alliance, how do you see that going out, particularly knowing eThekwini municipality, the biggest chunk of the votes are coming from here, those ones are not yet in. How do you see that particular district faring?
Well, I think at the moment we're sitting at 11% as the Democratic Alliance, but we must remember some of our biggest support bases are in eThekwini and are in Umzinduzi, and those results are far from being done. eThekwini, we haven't had one result from one voting station, and that concerns us. The IEC is not communicating with us, and one wonders what's going on. There are more questions than answers, but I think that should bring some balance to the dynamics at the moment.
Looking at the numbers currently coming in, it doesn't look like the Moonshot Pact will pass through the test of time. Looking at how the IFP there, particularly up north of the province, you go to the Utugela district, they're not doing well. MK seems to have hammered them as well.
Look, we'd also put the IFP at around about 20%, so I don't think they're too far off that mark. I think we must remember when it comes to the moonshot pact, as you call it, there's a bigger picture. There's the national picture. I think the national picture, which MK is not going to play such a role in, they'll be lucky if they get 8% on the national stage, that's going to allow an additional dynamic which could end up playing itself out in the provinces with the ANC being so weak.
I'm told that in your area of Herikwala district, your erstwhile friends there in the ANC, they're heavily bleeding. I'm told NTZ, I'm told Eklopo have all become green.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Although if you go further south, I do notice that there are patches of the ANC stronghold. But it is interesting, and time will tell what's going to happen to the Taliban, because clearly they haven't delivered the goods to the ANC in the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
Thank you very much, Mr. Francois Rogers. One wonders, are you going back to the legislature?
Yebo.
That is Francois Rogers, who leads the DA within the province of KwaZulu-Natal. But one particular man who's not very chuffed or pleased at all, and I assume he'll be getting calls from his CIC, the Commander-in-Chief, is Mongezi Twala, who is the provincial chairperson of the EFF in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Mr. Twala.
Thank you.
350,000, 2019. This time around, it seems as if that 350,000 is nowhere to be seen.
We are on 12% of the votes that have been counted in the province, and the number of areas where EFF is strong, we are still getting good and positive feedback from our ground forces and from our party agents and from what the office and also ourselves extracted from our structures. We are quite confident that we are going to grow and we are going to reach those numbers and even surpass them moving forward. The numbers that we're seeing here, a number of them come from rural areas where there's seriously not so much of votes that have been counted, or the voter turnout was not that significant as we have seen here in eThekwini. People came out in their numbers in eThekwini. We really put up a serious fight and contestation in the province. Also in the areas like Pietermaritzburg, in the areas like Newcastle, we had a very good campaign, and some other people were supporting the EFF, like your Abahlali Basemjondolo. They came out in numbers yesterday, and we're quite confident that we're going to be a factor. Our people came out to vote for a government of the EFF.
Ukwazeka kangakanani umkhonto kwena?
Angikwazi ukuthi ngathi umkhonto ukwazile kumina ngoba ngibona ngaphesheya basuka ku 80% badlalisela lapha ku 10%. So ngiyacabanga ukuthi ibone ngazuthi mhlambe balimele kakhulu. Thina si confident ukuthi senze kahle, sazoqhubeka futhi inombolo zinyuke ebhodini.
That is Mongezi Twala, chairperson of the EFF. Those whom he says have received much damage from Umkhonto, the ANC, they are nowhere to be found. They are not here at all. But I'm going to bring in lastly Umkhonto Wesizwe party themselves. And before I hand back to the studio, this is Umkhonto Wesizwe's response in the province. Leaders of Umkhonto Wesizwe, your response just to the results that are currently coming out. You are leading the province with about 43% of the vote.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, we are leading in the province, but this is due to the hard work that we've done on the ground, and that was due to the mandate that we got from the people, and we attended to that, and we did explain to the people that we are going to do what they want, and the people were so impressed with that, because now, if you could see, in most of the cases, we talk about the mandate. So that is what the people want.
When you're looking at the current results coming in, what are your projections overall when the 100% of the votes in the province of KwaZulu-Natal are counted?
In fact, we are just projecting at least 70% in the province. Then we can leave the rest to the others.
Well, that is Umkhonto Wesizwe basically saying that they are taking 70% of the province of KwaZulu-Natal. The results that we've seen coming in from people, you go to Umgungundlovu district municipalities, Umshwati, Mkambatini, Mpendle, Moimpofana, Richmond, they seem to have wreaked havoc against the ANC, which is the ANC's second biggest voting district. They've seemed to take in those particular municipalities. You go to the Herikwala district, NTZ municipality, Eklopo, all of those particular wards have been won by the MK party. Go to Mabita again, Mkambatini, won by Umkhonto Wesizwe. In Ward 1 in KwaXimba, the biggest ward, they have disseminated the governing African National Congress. You go up north of the province, they've also annihilated the IFP in certain areas.